This is episode 21 of me sitting down once a week to talk about life and business. Welcome back to Monday Diaries. As always, this is going to be a raw one-take video. I thought I'd sit by pool number 2 today, which is a weird flex because this place has 2 pools and no one really comes to this one, so it's nice and quiet to film in. I've got Flynn's phone here because he's sleeping and I need to write down my notes. And if someone wants to count how many blueberries I eat throughout this episode, I'll send you something for free. So the first comment that gets it right. So like I said, this is going to be raw one take, but if you want to see something more exciting, I post twice a week and the other one's more visually appealing. So for those of you with short attention span, maybe go watch that one, but finish this one first so retention's through the roof and YouTube favors me. But let's jump into it, shall we? So Item Monday's updates on screen here. I actually forgot to check how many applications we've had total, but last I checked it was low 90s, so it'd be probably mid 90s, I'd say. We've had 23 members accepted. We only do that once a month. $3 million in revenue and 25 years old is kind of the average stats of the members that we have involved. And I'll keep updating this as we go. As for personal brand growth, I'm at 1,345 subs on YouTube, which is up 141 from last week. That's pretty dope. 156k on Instagram, which is up 202, and then I lost 387, so net negative 185 on Insta. And every time I freaking write these, it's just to note to myself to go back and start really putting more attention into those socials. So Instagram's slowly dying, but I will revive it. And 323k on TikTok, which is up 172 followers from last week. So this is week 3 of living in the founder house. You guys have seen a lot of that journey so far. And I'm really starting to crave my own time now. I think it was kind of sparked by a conversation I had with Alina, which was, where do we want to spend a lot of our time this year, next year? Like, what are our plans? And I think it comes down to spend time in places that elevate your state. So, for example, if we want to go and spend, 2 or 3 weeks here in a founder house, really elevating lots of ideas. But if we were doing this for 2.5 months with no break, you'd struggle, right? Or I would struggle because it's just too much happening, too much dopamine, too much in the space. And not to mention, I'm sharing a bed right now with my brother, and Liam's also in the room. So there's 3 people in one room. So that doesn't help, Just something I've been thinking about recently. What else has been happening? Flynn and Connor did a triathlon. You saw that in the last video. We got rained out on Wednesday. And then the following day, I caught up with some of my friends that I shot with last time I was in Mallorca, which was last summer. And that was a whole lot of fun. They're like a family of professional models, mum and dad and the little kid. And we just went and hung out and chatted, and we shot a couple of little things just for fun. But always nice seeing them, and very aligned, conscious people that I like spending time with. So that was cool. We ran a couple of trail runs and then also had some very, very late nights, which is unusual for me, but I just rolled with the punches. They were mostly for member calls. So one of them was sort of up until 2 a.m. In the morning. And then the next day I was up early to see the triathlon. So yeah, a couple of those which shook me, but weirdly had the most energy during those days of no sleep, which was kind of a fun thing to lean into, I guess. So what's a big win for this week? Well, Greece residency is officially full. It was kind of like 90% there anyway. We just had a spot or 2 to fill that we weren't too fussed about, but we've got those locked in. We're heading over there in a week or 2. So that's dope. My lesson from this week, I called my dad for his birthday and we spoke for like an hour, and he's someone I admire very much. I really want to see succeed, same as my mom, same as the rest of my family. And mum and dad, I know you watch these videos, so I'm speaking directly to you for this little section. You guys want change and you want to break free from your work as school teachers and your limiting beliefs in many areas, money, freedom, happiness, all of those things. And if I could share one lesson that will help you achieve anything that you want in your life and anyone else watching, it's this. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You're doing the same thing every day expecting different results. It's the definition of insanity. You wake up in the same house with the same cues for the same habits, and expect different outcomes. And that's just an incredibly hard thing to do out of discipline alone. Even if you have all the right intentions and you're starting to learn from places and have people online, it's almost impossible from willpower alone. And sometimes you got to do really radical things like move to another country or somewhere entirely different or around very different people. And almost that jarring nature forces you to break free and into new habits. And then that's when all the actual change happens. So that's kind of I'm speaking broadly here, not just to you, mum and dad, but it's something I think about a lot, and all of my times of change. I mean, you guys did this for me when we moved back to the Cocos Islands when I was like 18, and it was one of the largest periods of change in my life because I could step into the person I wanted to be. I could wear the clothes I wanted to wear. I was away from all of my high school friends and people that were trapped in their sort of routines and mindsets back then. And that was just like planting a seed that then grew into a tree, I suppose. But nothing changes if nothing changes. That's the lesson for me this week. A challenge from this week is probably around committing to things, waking up in the morning and, Evan and I sort of planned a few times to have meetings at 9 or 10 a.m. to talk about, various different topics, and, it'd sort of roll around and we'd be doing something else, or we'd be running, or, these other things came up, and it was just, we were embracing the fluidity of it all, but probably could have done a better job of just committing to something, sticking to something, and going to bed at a reasonable time, etc., etc. Oh, almost dropped that. Also, I haven't been eating blueberries, so you guys should all be able to guess pretty accurately at this point in time. Last thing, something for you guys to ponder. What are you not doing because you're afraid of who you will become if you do? I'll explain real quick. When I was in school, I didn't like studying, and I did fairly well, and I sort of created this identity around, me being the kid that didn't have to study, kind of did okay, and it stuck with me. It probably made me feel special. It was probably an ego boost when people recognize that. Today, I procrastinate all the time, like just like many people, and my takeaway is that I do it because it's almost a self-sabotage to keep me in that identity of being like a poor studier, So every time I do something without really trying too hard, it's kind of reinforcing that identity. And so back to the question, what are you not doing because you're afraid of who you become? I'm not getting better at procrastination and just improving that process because I'm afraid of how unstoppable I will be. And it sounds literally stupid saying that out loud. But it's so true for so many people. You can do so much in this world. You're capable of so much. You're just limiting yourself in most cases. And awareness is number one. I suppose I have that. Now it's actually taking action and doing it consistently. So that's something to ponder. Appreciate you guys being here as always. I hope you start fuck with Mondays. I'll see you next week. Peace.